very high traffic area. You know, that is what it is. This is Tetlow Road, 30th May 2025, and there's a total compliance. If you know Tetlow Road, you can't pass here by this time because of the rate of traffic. Tetlow Road, Owerri, is an IT center in Imo State, and you can see the level of compliance that young men are playing ball today. There's total compliance. I mean total compliance, absolute total compliance. And Owerri is calm, you must understand that. Owerri is peaceful. So this is Tetlow, and we go to, this is Okigwe Road, one of also most crowded and busy place in Imo State. And you can see this place is a very difficult terrain to pass because of traffic, commercial activities that this place is known for, and there is also total compliance. There is a total compliance. Businesses are closed for today's Heroes Day Remembrance. So this is Douglas, Okigwe Road. This is Douglas, Okigwe Road. And this is the Owerri Municipal, shut down as well, closed. This is a bank road by Warehouse Junction. It's also a highly crowded area. It's also closed down. So it's also shut down. This is Warehouse. If you know Warehouse, Warehouse is one of the busiest places. It's also lock and keyed. This is Olu Road, and this is control axis. So locked and keyed. There's a total.
So there's no violence. There's no report of any form of skirmish or skirmishes anywhere. People voluntarily observed the sit-at-home because there is no single family in Igboland that did not lose at least one member of their family. In some places, right? The entire family got killed. Not during the war, not like they're like facing war. They were slaughtered by the supposed liberating army of Nigeria. You get what I mean? Like they are liberating, sure you guys, like they're supposed to be the ones to come and liberate, because they were calling the Biafra soldiers, they were calling them rebels. Do you understand? They were calling them rebels. So the areas where the Biafran soldiers or the Biafrans were, so the Biafran soldiers were found, right? So those people were, or those areas, after the Nigerian team or Nigerian army got there, they were called liberated areas. Liberated areas are supposed to be the people who are, seems to be like protected now, safe. That's not what happened. Some cases, those who didn't die during the war, they got killed by the Nigerian army, who pretended to come and liberate their community. So we have series of books, you know what I mean now, that tells us more about what happened. People should just try and read. Okay. Now back to London, right? Where it is also read the names of the victims. This is the part I actually love, right? About their Heroes Remembrance Days. Okay. This is the part where every member of, every person killed, put it that way. Some of them were pretty much prominent during the entire war. And they are all being mentioned. We remember that part. Yeah. There is a former UK director ahead of the IPOB who is at the event today as well. In London. Let's go back to London.
Those who took the mantle of leadership in Biafra land have turned against your faithful children and your holy land, Biafra. They have colluded with the Fulani and their British masters to hand our life and blessed land Biafra over to the enemy. To go Biafra forbidding that we will become like the Hausa people in our own land. Biafra, in the hands of the Fulani Janjaweed. We, your chosen children, have awakened to our responsibilities. Please, Father in heaven, fortify us like steel to fight on till victory. Expose the enemies within and enemies without. Let them have no peace of mind and no rest to rest. No place to rest. Reveal all their evil plots against us and turn them against themselves. Grant us the upper hand and absolute victory soon, so that those who have died in their siege will finally rest. We're now going to remember the following in their various groups. The names are not listed, but they are victims. The first one is victims of Operation Python Dance 1 and 2. We remember. Victims of Mpo Massacre. We remember. Victims of CKC Massacre. We remember. Victims of Aba High School Massacre. We remember. Victims of Igboland Port Harcourt Massacre. We remember. Victims of Emene Massacre. We remember. Victims of Odigo Massacre. We remember. Victims of ongoing sieges. We remember. Massacres all over Biafra land and beyond. We remember. May their courage be our inspiration and strength. Almighty and most merciful Chukwuka Abiyama, in whom we live and move and have our being, and before whom all men must hereafter appear to render an account of the deeds done in the body. We do most earnestly beseech thee to impress upon our minds and solemnities and infamy of this day. May we ever remember that in the midst of life we are in death, and so live and act as separate parts, that we may have no cause for sorrow or fear when the hour.
And of course, there's never any dull moment for those of us who have attended in the past, and even those who attend in the future. This is for you. There's never a dull moment, and everyone is always welcomed. You see, the wise one said, if all of us want to be for real, all of us from that contraption, if all of us want to be for real, we should actually all be fighting the same fight that the Biafrans are fighting, rather than fighting the Biafrans for fighting for Biafra. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? That if all of us have these opened inner eyes, right, and you pay attention to why are these guys asking for Biafra? Why can't they just use the money they are giving to them to build their state? Why can't they just, all this your why? It's because you have a very closed or blind inner eyes. If all of us should be saying why they are fighting for Biafra, all of us should be fighting for something too. Because whatever they are fighting for, We are all suffering the same, but differently. Do you understand what I mean? Like, we are all suffering the marginalization due to the corrupt, inefficient, ineffective, criminal, compromised system that you have in that place. All of us are suffering. And that suffering that you are suffering in Nigeria, please, don't try to experience what being an Igbo person is in Nigeria. And again, you will never know if you are not one. Don't ask me why. You get what I mean? Like the profiling of the Igbos, and in the whole thing, like they themselves knows that the whole system is rigged against them. So they are not even looking for any handout from anywhere. You understand? So if any of us should possibly be subjected to the same thing, the same way, war by now, people go don't fight Arewa war. I've been a Kwararafa war. It won't be Biafra war alone anymore. We would have fought to do a war self. Do you understand? So if all of us can see through, all of us will be fighting the same fight. And that is why, to those of us who are non-Biafrans, right, we are not trying to give a validation to them or try to possibly help them get at it. They don't need all of that. In fact, their story is so good to be told to everyone who cares to listen, right? That if you are being oppressed, right, this is how you have to fight for it, and this is how you are not to fight for it, so to say. So to those of us who are non-Biafrans, who have attended some of this, we are kind of like showing our support. It's called support, because to us, the same system that is doing this to them, can do worse to any of us. The moment we are the next target. And if they are asking to leave, the rest of us should be asking to leave too. There's no point in keeping this contraption. So when you attend any of their gathering, the IPOB organized gatherings, it's never a dull moment. And you know, of course, they are all, right, the disciples of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And you know the song? A lot of people hate that. Why would they call him a savior? Why are they carrying? He earned it. If you are not being jealous, he earned it. Again, the prince. Holy Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. Holy, holy, holy Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. Some of those who are his critics always sort of like express their disgust for that level of, support coming from grown-up men, independent men. I'm talking about well-to-do men and women who are very much convinced that except they all come together, Nigeria would never stop, never cease, right, to sacrifice them and their own children's children. Something they won't keep quiet if others are keeping quiet elsewhere in that part of the contraption. That has ended the Igbos, especially the IPOB members themselves. See, this confidence of, if others want to take it, we won't take it. If others are going to be negotiating for Fulani terrorists to take their land, we won't take it. And we are not going to negotiate. We are going to go after them. If the Nigerian government will stop backing them. So we won't negotiate. No. We don't. Here you get. So we're all supposed to be like that. Unfortunately, we are not. Unfortunately. And you see, like I said from the start of this segment, I said, if Nigeria indeed, or the criminals in charge of Nigeria, if they indeed love Nigeria, right, they would have put together a system of unification, a system of healing, a healing process that the Biafrans, wherever they are, both in Nigeria and the diaspora, they will have something to say, okay, we're having a closure now. That will not sort of like invalidate their demand, or it won't. But at least healing has to start from somewhere, where people who did the horrible things will publicly come out and say, we did wrong. And then at the same time, we are not going to do it again, and we'll make up for it. We'll make it up to you. Something that will give people and say, well, you know what, they are trying to, rebuild the old wound or heal the old wound. In Nigeria today, you will still see people from other places outside Igboland say they want to teach the Igbo lesson. We'll kill all of you again. You get what I mean now? So it simply means that they don't have that plan. In Nigeria today, the people who died during the civil war are only being remembered by the Biafrans alone. Nigeria doesn't give a hoot. And that simply means that it is still an open wound. An open wound that those of you who are one Nigerianists, maybe if you have a chance of talking to yourselves, right? A lot is wrong with that contraption. One healing can start somewhere. Declare May 30th, the Biafran Day, or the Biafran Remembrance Day. Una no go die if you teach your children what happened, the level of these roles played at the time. It is always for good. That is if you care so much about this contraption, but of course they don't. Nobody cares about the place. You know what I mean? Nobody really cares. Everybody is taking their own turn, right? So congratulations to the Biafrans, and I will see you next year, and wherever you choose. All right. So, and we'll keep praying for the repose of the souls of the martyred. Is that the right word? Now, let's leave there, but we are still going to stay back in Biafra land, because yesterday in Ezeagu, a community in Enugu State, right? The state government demolished, that was 2 nights ago, by the way. 2 nights ago, they demolished the home of a prominent, should I say prominent or popular, Dibia, right? Obieze, I think it's called. Right, he was accused of involving in human trafficking, kidnapping, organ trafficking, gun running, so many crimes. So he absconded until he got apprehended at Badagry, Lagos Badagry Seme border. All of that, right? So when he was arrested and he got interviewed, before he was handed over to the police in Lagos, right? So he was interviewed, like, what happened? And the guy said, right, they lied, that he didn't do all those things. Right? He said the community conspired to get him destroyed by putting up that lies against him, that he's a ritualist, he's a kidnapper and all that, right? So, and he also said that it is because he's next in line to the throne, the kingship throne of Ezeagu. That means he's next to become the king of Ezeagu. But some people who don't like him decided to cook up these lies to destroy him. Okay, hang on. If that is the case, what about the bodies they found in your house? The bones, and the girl? His answer is, They planted them. I didn't do all of that. It is political. Okay. No, let me go here. Director Scott, can you help?
Good evening. What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Levi Obieze.
Levi Obieze.
Yes.
You are from which state?
From Enugu State.
Where do you reside?
I reside in Benin Republic.
You reside in Benin Republic. What do you do for a living?
I'm a businessman.
You're a businessman.
Yes.
Where are you heading to now?
I don't know where I'm heading to right now because they say before you will kill someone, you allow the person to talk. Do you understand? Because you were an officer, someone might say you were a killer or you were whenever you know that you are innocent. Whenever you know that you are innocent, even though they take you to hell, you will go there. The God of vengeance will still deliver you from anything.
But you know there's an issue on ground concerning you, huh?
An issue concerning ground concerning me is a political issue, something politics, fabrication against me because I will be next of king. So and some people in my village don't want me to be that next of king. So they are planting people against me front and back so that I can fall. That is the major issue. And people, PG of my village come and demolish my house.